Okay, let's practice English. Um, so this day I'm practice to speak English, and always you give me topic for this. So yesterday, honestly, I'm a little bit lazy at that time, so I didn't practice at all, and um, therefore today is 5 days for recording this video, my English speakings. So I'm going to practice English by eating my lunch. I made fried rice for my lunch and it is very delicious. So mm, let's go to our origin. I'm going to practice English and you just give me a topic for this. There are some rules for this. Firstly, you don't have to give me feedback unless I ask to you. Secondly, I want to practice paraphrase. So if you find the expression I used too much, then just check it and I'll try to paraphrase it. Finally, please give me answer very briefly. If you try to give me information, then it might make our conversation delay. I just want to interact with you, not getting information. So I hope you understand this. Therefore, let's start it. Is there any specific topic that you want to converse?
Got it. No feedback unless you ask. Help with paraphrasing repeated words and keep answers brief. Let's start with this topic. What's your favorite food memory? You can talk about a moment when you ate something special or meaningful. Ready when you are.
It is very difficult to choose one. I love sweet bread and ice cream too. I think I love Baskin-Robbins ice cream since my father sometimes bought this for us. When I was child, um, my father usually bought Baskin-Robbins ice cream for us. So this is very memorable. At that time, I can understand my father's. However, now I can empathize him. He just want to give us sweet things, and he he might just want to see our smile face. So this is very memorable food for me. Also, um, I love some exotic food too. When I firstly eat maratang or 쌀국수, it was very strange at the time. I think the spice of this is very weird. However, I eat it more, then I can find um, it's a unique style, and I love this. So this day, I love to eat 쌀국수 and 똠양꿍, and it is very delicious. However, 고수 is still difficult flavor for me. So that's all.
Great job. Very natural and heartfelt. Here are a couple of expressions you repeated or could paraphrase. You said very memorable twice. Try unforgettable, meaningful, or special. You said at that time more than once. You could use back then, in those days, or when I was younger. Want to try paraphrasing a sentence or two with those suggestions?
No, I don't have to try to do this. I just want to keep practice speaking English with you. Also, this is very useful and I'm going to memorize this. I used at the time many times, so I can paraphrase it with back then in those days or when I was younger. So it is very good. I'm really appreciate with your helps. So let's keep practice speaking some things. You can give me follow-up questions or you can give me another topic. Also, I love to talk about more academic things. So I'll give you some information of me. I finished third grade of my university days and my major is architecture engineering. Also, I learned business too. So I know something about this kind of things, business and architecture engineering, not architecture. Architecture engineering and architecture is a little bit different. I'll give you some example. Architecture usually learn how to design building. It emphasize appearance more. However, architecture engineering learn how to build the buildings. So we focus on calculate force and strength of the buildings, and also we learn how can we manage this and how can we develop technology for structure and construction. So in another country, they said it as civil engineering too. So it might be comprehensible. I think you will understand this. So based on this background knowledge, could you give me another topic? Also, I love to watch some mysterious videos, and this day I try to studying English too. So I watched some video about how can we learn another language. Also, sometime if I have time, I watch TED Edu too. So I can answer for this topic too. So let's talk about another topic.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing about your background. That helps a lot. You're doing really well, and I like how clearly you explain the difference between architecture and architectural engineering. Here's your next topic. What's one innovation in architecture or construction that you find really impressive or exciting? It could be a new material, technology, or construction method you've learned about. Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, this is very fun topic. I think of many things have its own effect on architecture. So finding new materials that help building more firm is very helpful. It makes our building more firm and can endure more force. So it might be one part of good innovation. However, I'm going to choose elevator for this technology. It might sound very old, but I think elevation is very strong innovation in architecture. If we don't have elevator, we can't use high floors. So if we always if we always go upstairs by working by using 계단, I can record this word in English. I hope you understand this. Then many people 거리다가 뭐였지? Many people are reluctant to leave high floors. However, elevator make it possible, and because of this innovation, people can live at high floors and high floors. We can move our bundle with elevator, and we can go off floor very easily with this. So structures becoming more condensed, and many people can live in same place. So therefore, I think it is very amazing innovation of our life. It makes it possible to condense. It makes very condensed city become possible. So that's all. It is very difficult to explain this, and this is almost my first time to say about this. So something sounds very strange. I hope you understand this.
You explained it really well. It's not strange at all. Actually, it's a thoughtful answer. Just one word to remember: 계단, stairs. And a quick paraphrase idea: instead of very amazing, you could say incredible, groundbreaking, or game changing. Here's a follow up question: how do you think buildings will change in the future with new technologies?
Okay. The method how we can move around is changing. So I want to talk about vehicle. In the past, we usually use horse to move around, and motors. As motor developed, we use cars to move around. Also, we can use train or other traffic too. So because of this vehicle innovation, our city is designed based on load. So it is very important which parts we can go by using our cars. So there you can find 신호등. I watched this yesterday. I memorized this yesterday, but I can't record this. Still, light, cross right. No, I hope you understand this. And also, you can move and find. You can move convenience centers and other things by riding bus or cars, other vehicles like this. So what I want to talk is our city is designed based on this vehicle. Recently I heard that new vehicle will occur. Its name is UAM. So this day and technology develops more, we might use drones to move around. Also, we can use it is very difficult to record its expression. Automobile. So based on this vehicle innovation, our city will change too. We can go we can use less time to move on other things. So um, the place that we can reach will be expand than before. So um, city might become less condensed than this. Also, some load will disappear. And based on this vehicle innovation, our city will be changed too. It might become more condensed and contains very many convenience and utilitarians in our buildings, like 주상복합. Also, we can alive more, we can more expand cities. Therefore, facility will be locate various parts. I think it's not comprehensible. My expression is very awkward, but I hope you understand this. I don't know many academic words, so it is very difficult to explain this.
You're doing a great job, really. Even without many academic words, your ideas are clear. You explained how transportation shapes city design, and that's an advanced concept. Here are just two helpful notes. I can't record this. You might mean I can't recall this. Recall, remember. Automobile means car, but I think you meant autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars. And your expression, our city will change too, was repeated a few times. You can also say, our urban environment will transform, city layouts will evolve, the structure of cities will shift. Would you like to keep going with this topic or try a different one?
Okay, if you give me a follow-up question, I'll try to answer for this. If you want to talk about another things, then give me another information, another topic. Then I'm going to talk about this. Is there any specific things that you want to know about more about me or about this kind of topic? Also, recently I watched a video about immersion education and how to learn foreign language. Therefore, I can talk a little bit about this. But I'm not expert for this, so it might be very difficult too to explain this with my awkward English skills. Whatever. Also, if you can give me some information, and I'm going to explain some things based on this. If this is not satisfied, then we can watch TED Edu's video and we can talk about these videos too. So, what do you want to do? I hope you choose one things.
Great. Let's go with something you mentioned. It sounds really interesting. Let's talk about immersion education. Here's a simple question to start. What do you think is the biggest advantage of learning a language through immersion? You can answer based on the video you watched or your own thoughts.
Okay, immersion education. We just have to use our proposed language despite it's our usual life. So I think it is very similar to learn English. Um, Infants learn English. So let's think about infant, baby. Mm, Firstly, they can't say anything. However, their parents repeat again and again. Then some days they can understand their parents speaking. And then um, they can say some very simple words like mom, dad, eat, food, like this. Moreover, years becoming, they can use several words and expression, and get they can learn language very um, naturally. So this is the way how we can learn our mother tongue's language. I think immersion education is very similar to this. Despite we can understand exactly, we just trying to face purpose language again and again. We repeat it, we listen it and repeat it again and again. Also, we just trying to talk this in our head in our usual life. Therefore, some days we can use this language very fluently. Mm, so this is the strength of this immersion education. I'm just trying to do this education too. Um, I I've been talking English with you for more than 2 months. At first time, I can speak whole paragraph and I can explain some academic things. Only things that I can do is just explain my current life and very basic things of myself. Mm. Despite I can read and listen some academic speech and lectures, it is still difficult for me to speak and write about this. However, I'm just trying to keep talking with you, and then now I can explain some academic topic too. So I think this is very great improvement, and this is the result of immersion education. This is just my opinion. So this might be the good strengths and advantage of learning language through immersion. However, I think there are also side effects of this. Some students might feel big pressure and stress. You know, in immersion education, we have to use only our purpose language. Therefore, we can't use our mother tongue, and we have limitation to explain our opinion. At first, I feel really upset when I try to talk with you, and sometimes you can understand my speaking because of my lack pronunciation and grammar and vocabulary errors. At that time, I feel very big stress because I can explain my opinion and you can't understand my speaking clearly. So this is the one side effect of this education. Also, if we don't studying, if we don't try to memorize some words and if we don't have any background of that purpose language, this kind of education, to improve our English skills, we might have a lot of times. So this is another side effect of this education too. So that's all. How do you think about this?
That was an excellent explanation. Really, you showed clear understanding and you supported your ideas with real experience. Just two small tips for paraphrasing. Instead of side effect, you can also say drawback, limitation, or challenge. Instead of despite we can understand exactly, try even if we don't fully understand or without full understanding. Would you like a follow up question on immersion education, or should we switch to a new topic? Maybe something like architecture, TED Ed, or business?
Mm. Okay, I think we have to change our rules. Firstly, you don't have to give feedback and how can I paraphrasing every time. Secondly, just give me very simple information that is related to my answers. Also, sometimes you can give me your opinion. Then, based on this, I'll keep talking about this. Thirdly, I just want to interact and converse with you. However, this kind of conversation is very 단절되다, I think. When you give me a topic, then I'm going to answer to this, and then you just give me another topic that is not related to this. So I hope you give me just very simple information related to my answer and follow-up question or other topic that little bit related to our conversation. So is it okay? I'm going to summarize this. I think this is not real conversation. I want to interact with you, so give me related information or follow-up questions. Then I'll keep answer to this, and let's talk about their debate. It might be fun too. So let's do this.
Yes, I understand perfectly now, and I really like your idea. Let's make it a real conversation with natural flow. No more breaking the topic or long feedback. I'll follow your new rules. 1, no feedback unless you ask. 2, just short, simple info or my opinion related to your answer. 3, follow up questions or debate related to what you just said. So let's continue from immersion education. Here's a short opinion. I think immersion works best when learners feel safe to make mistakes. But in school, some students feel too shy or scared to speak. What do you think about that? Should schools change how they teach languages?
Yes, I think too. Some students feel too shy or scared to speak, and it is the same for me too. When I was mid and high school student, some of my friends blamed me because of my pronunciation. I think my pronunciation is not bad. However, it's a little bit different from Korean accent. Also, it is not same as American or British accent too. Therefore, it might sound a little bit old, and I know about it already. So, some of my students don't like my pronunciation. At that time, I feel nervous and shy too. So, at that period, I'm very scared to speak something in English. Also, at that time, I didn't go academic schools and I didn't memorize any words. So, I think so I can get high grade at exam. However, I still think my English is very awkward. To be honest, I can get high score at exam, but I can't understand whole paragraph. I just trying to find answer based on its context and try to understand it based on this. So sometimes I misunderstand this and I can't fully understand um, this 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 paragraph. So my score is high, but not highest, just higher than usual. Mm, this is the reason why I can't speak English. So I'm going to summarize this. First reasons, I think my pronunciation is a little bit different from usual, and some students, some of my friends think it is very old. Therefore, I lose my confidence to speak English. Secondly, I think my English skill is very bad, and I didn't know lot of lots of expression. Therefore, I feel scared to speak English. So, in this type, immersion education did not work, and some students might feel big stress. So, in our schools, this kind of uh, um, keep this education is better than studying immersion educations. However, students who want to speak English fluently, I want there is another option that can choose immersion education in their after school class or academic class. So this is my opinion. How do you think about this?
I think your opinion is very thoughtful and honest. It's really sad that your friends made you feel nervous about your pronunciation, but actually, your accent shows your unique background. Many great English speakers have accents, accent bad English, and your idea about having immersion as an option, not a must, is smart. That way, students can choose what fits them best. I totally agree. Here's a simple thought. Do you think teachers should also speak with different accents in English class? For example, Australian, Indian, or Korean English, not just American or British? Would that help students feel more confident?
Okay, before answer to it, I want to drink 1 cup of water, so please wait a minute. Okay, I come back here and I'll keep talking about this. So, for teacher, I think using one specific accent is better. This is just my opinion. Um, However, there are specific prevail accent that many people use. So, the students who try to learn English for the first time become familiar with this previous accent is better, I think. So, um, so it is very difficult to explain this. Um, if I if I start English with French or another countries that does not use English first time, then my pronunciation will be mixed, and this might become obstacle um, to converse with others. So this is just my experience. When I live in my school's dorm room, I have chance to talk with another countries foreign students. So I've tur- I've talked I've talked with French, Cambodia's, and Taiwan students. They all have different accent, and for me, it is very difficult to understand. Um, all of them, all of that, all of them speaking. For Taiwan's people, their accent is very similar to Chinese, and um, because of this reason, it sounds very old for me, and I can't understand it exactly. Also, for Frank's, French, French friend, his accent is his pronunciation is very 굴리다, 혀를 굴리다, and it is still difficult to understand their speaking. So, if I studying English with non-English countries, then I might have same problem. So, for teachers, I think having American or British accent is better. It might be controversy, but this is just my opinion. So, could you give me your opinion too? I want to hear about this too. Standard model.
Thank you for sharing your honest and deep opinion. I really understand your point, especially from your real experience living in the dorm and talking with people from many countries. That gives your opinion strong meaning. Here's my thought. I agree that beginners need a clear, standard model. American or British English can help students understand the most common media and exams like TOEFL, IELTS, movies, etc. So, yes, I think it's very reasonable that teachers use one consistent, widely understood accent at first. But over time, I think it's also important to introduce other accents. Not for early learners, but for intermediate or advanced learners, because in real life, we meet people from India, the Philippines, Nigeria, Korea, Japan, and many other countries. So training students to understand many kinds of English helps prepare them for the real world. To summarize, for beginner level, one clear accent like American is best. For advanced learners, hearing various accents can be a big help, not a problem. What do you think about this? Do you think your English classes should also show students how to listen to different accents step by step after they learn the basics?
Yes, I think so. For intermediate or advanced level students, learning various accents is also important. The purpose why we try to learn English is not just because lead and listening something and solving problem, but also interact with other people. So to do this, we need to understand various accents too. If we only try to learn standard accent, then we might be under, we can understand movies or lectures. However, in real conversation, we might have problems. I'll give you example for this. For Japanese English speakers, their pronunciation is very different from English. So when I first heard Japanese English, I can't understand at all. However, if I have some chance to listen to it previously, then I might be able to understand their speaking. So, to interact with foreigners and in abroad, we have to become used to this accent too. However, without basis, it might be toxic for us. So, therefore, I think intermediate and advanced students, they have to learn various they have to they have to top up various accent, but for basis level, they just have to focus on improving their English skills. That's all. Why don't we talk about another topics?
That was a great explanation, especially the example with Japanese English. You're absolutely right. If we have no experience with those accents, it can be very confusing. But if we hear them step by step, we can get used to them and communicate much more easily. I completely agree with your idea. Let's move on to a new topic, as you suggested. New topic, technology and relationships. How do you think technology, like smartphones, social media, or messaging apps, has changed the way people build and maintain friendships or romantic relationships? Do you think it's more helpful or harmful overall? Let's start with your thoughts.
It is very fun topic and I love this. I think all of them has its own pros and cons, but this is just my opinion, but it is more harmful than its benefit. So I'm going to explain this. With technology develop, we can communicate with others more easily just by using messaging apps or social media. It also meant brain someone become more easier too. So when I watch social media like Instagram, many people blame others with their comment. Firstly, I'm just acting like other people's too. When I see ugly or strange person, I also blame them. I don't write comment, but I just blame them in my mind. At that time I can't think it is very strange and rude behavior. However, now I can feel this. This is very strange things. In real conversation, face to face, we can blame others so easily like this. However, in online circumstance, we can express our opinion very easily despite it is not good feedback for others. Therefore, it makes other people feel big pressure and some people suicide. This is very strange situations, I think. So thanks for this new technology, we can converse with others very easily. We can give our opinion very easily, and buying messaging apps or email, we can interact with others. So this make our this accelerate our life, our works, and various things. However, it have its own side effect. We can blame others so easily. We just have to meet other people face to face, and this makes our offline relationship much less. So I think we need relationship, real communication, real interactions. Sometimes we have to meet people face to face, and with this, we can understand others people's mind with their face, and we can empathize others' emotion. These have very strong powers. So this day we really need offline relationship, and we have to come out from these online applications.
That was a deep and thoughtful answer. Thank you for sharing it so honestly. I really respect how you reflected on both the positive and negative sides, especially your own change in perspective over time. You're right. Online communication makes it easier to talk to others, but also easier to hurt others without realizing it. When we don't see someone's face or hear their voice, we might forget that they're real people with feelings. And yes, offline, face to face interaction has special emotional power that online messages can't fully replace. Here's a simple related idea to keep the conversation going. Some people say that young people today are losing their social skills because they spend too much time on phones or texting instead of talking in person. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Why?
I really agree with this. Also, it is same for me too. Um, I think this becoming more serious right after COVID-19 pandemic. At that period, we can't meet other people in offline, so therefore we just chatting with others, like playing games or message apps or social media. Therefore, we don't have to meet others in real life, and it makes our social skills. It accelerate losing our social skills. I think. Well, okay. I have to arrange my thinkings. It is very difficult to make this answer spontaneously. I hope you understand this. So, students who can't make who can't meet their classmates in offline. I heard they have some problems to communicate with others. Some students thinks that other people can't listen to their speaking, and sometimes blame others with no intent. So it is very harmful, and they have to emphasize others' mind. Also, they have to notice that other people can here they're monopolized. So that's all. We have to improve our ability to empathize other. Also, we have to read more books or lear writing things. I don't know how can I say this. So this day, many people just find video to get information, and this is same for me. However, buying this, I lose my ability to understand some writing things, and it might become more harmful. So all of this is drawbacks of innovation, new technology. Um, Also, I can feel I losing my social skills because this day I taking off of school for a semester, and I usually talk with you to improve my English skills. However, I think talking with AI can't replace real conversation with real persons. So, when I talk with you, I usually try to say a lot of things and give a lot of information. However, in real conversation, I can't give my whole opinions, and sometimes I have to listen to others. However, when I talking with you more and more, it is much difficult to endure other person's speaking. I just want to talk my own thinkings. However, in real interaction, I have to listen to others, and I have to. I try to emphasize them, and I try to talk about the topics that they want to talk. So, um, it's very. My speaking is very messy. I hope you understand this. If you give me one more chance, I'm going to arrange my thinkings and summarize this. Okay, I give you answer, but it says this voice input system can understand my speaking. I don't know the reason of this. It might be because of my pronunciation, or it is too long. Long. I want to know the reason for this. So could you explain for this? Why this your voice input system can't understand my answer? Unusual vocabulary or grammar. Okay, I'll try to answer to this one more time. It might because I gave it too long answers, and my vocabulary and grammar use is a little bit unusual. So I'm going to explain this one more time. This day, young people are losing their social skills because of innovation of technology. Um, this become more serious than before when we right after COVID-19 pandemic, during the COVID-19 pandemic, during this period, we don't have to meet other people face to face. Therefore, to communicate with others, we just use chatting application, Zoom, facial calling. I don't know its right expression, and social media. Because of this, we can express our opinion very easily. Also, we can blame others easier than before. So I think it have very bad effect to our social skills. It is same for me too. When I chatting with my friends by using chatting application, I didn't think much and I don't care others' emotion. Also, I can't empathize for them because I can't see their face and how they feel like. So this is the one reasons why these days many people lose their social skills. Secondly, we usually watch YouTube video and to getting information. Therefore, we can get long information and sometimes we don't read anything. So therefore, we lose our ability to understand writing things. It is very harmful, you know. I think I'm very worried about it because it is same for me too. Okay, I'm going to give you final reasons. This day, many people use AI to converse. So we can get information and we can feel empathize how empathize. I don't know why this word sounds very weird, so I'll keep explaining this. I'm going to explain my experience. This day, I'm taking off of school for a semester. Therefore, I have very little chance to meet others without my families. So, to improve my English skills, I usually talk with AI. Therefore, I talk a lot of things to express my opinion, and AI just give me answer for this. So I don't have to listen to others' opinions, and therefore I'll talk my own thinkings more and more without listening to others. So by this, I might lose my social skills to empathize others and understanding their emotion, their opinions, and listening to about this. So this is another side effect of technology innovations. That's all. Summarizing, I agree that many people are losing their social skills. So what is your opinion? I want to hear about it too.
Thank you for trying again, and you did really well. Your ideas are clear and thoughtful, and your message came through strongly. Now, here's my opinion on this topic. I agree with you. I think technology is powerful, but it has made real conversation and empathy weaker for many people. Like you said, after COVID-19, we got too used to online talking. With no faces, no feelings, just quick replies or emojis, it's easy to forget that a real person is on the other side. I also think it's dangerous when we only talk to AI or only watch short videos like YouTube or TikTok. We get used to fast answers and then don't learn how to listen or think deeply. And like you said, if we only speak and don't listen to others, we lose the skill to have a real conversation. But I think there's also a hopeful side. You are very self aware. You notice this problem in yourself, and you are trying to fix it. That's amazing. If more people do the same, maybe we can learn how to use technology in a better way to connect, not to disconnect. Let's keep the conversation going. Here's a related question for you. Do you think schools should teach students how to build social skills like conversation, empathy, and emotional control as a
Empathy.
subject, just like math or science?
No, I think we don't have to do this. We can learn how can empathy with others and how can we converse with others without intent, very naturally. Mm, at school, um, we make our friends and we mingle with them. Buying this, we interact with them and sometimes communicate each other. With this very natural behavior, we can learn how can we empathize others and how can we understand their emotion with their face or with their behaviors. Therefore, we can understand others and we try not to make them upset. This is very natural things, and with this, we can build our social skills um, um, unintentionally. So I think learning social skills in school is very natural things without specific lectures. However, for understanding context and the things like read some things and understand its own purpose, to do this, we have to learn about this. So, um, we already have lectures for this reading, language class, and other things like this. So, with this, we can learn basic things for our life. Based on this, we can get social skills very naturally by talking with other and mingle with our friend. So that's all. I'm going to summarize this. Building social skills is very natural things, and without intent, we can learn this very easily in our school lives. However, it also needs its background, and we already have lecture for this. So I think having specific lectures for to build this kind of social skills is not needed. We're just trying to keep practice with these manners, and for teachers, um, focusing on students who can't mingle with others is needed. So, how do you think about this? I want to drink 1 cup of water too. Give so give me some times. I'll come back very quickly.
I really like your opinion. It's clear and thoughtful, and honestly, I agree with a big part of it. You're right. Social skills grow naturally when we spend time with friends, work in groups, and talk with others at school. It's true that, we don't need a lecture to understand how to be kind, how to empathize, or how to talk with someone. These things happen naturally in daily life, especially when teachers and classmates create a warm, respectful environment. But here's my small opinion to add. I think for most students, your idea works well. But for some students, maybe the quiet ones, or students who have trouble understanding feelings, like students with autism or anxiety, it might help to have a little more support. Not a full class, but maybe some short activities or games that help them practice talking, listening, or understanding emotions. Also, now that so many students are using phones and social media, they might not talk face to face as much. So maybe some extra group work or role play in class could help bring that natural practice back. In short, I agree with you that we mostly learn social skills naturally, but I think some students might need gentle help. Not a big lecture, but small practice chances. Here's another small related question. What do you think teachers should do when students avoid making friends or always stay alone? Should teachers help or just let students do what they want?
Okay, thank you for your advice, and I really love your follow-up questions. However, my major is not related to education. Therefore, it is very difficult to answer to these questions. Also, I'm not interested in this kind of topic. So, if we can't, why don't we talk about another topic? Mm, this time, I can give you an answer. I can give you a question for this. Mm.
Of course, thank you for telling me honestly. That helps a lot. Let's stop that topic and switch to something more interesting for you. Please go ahead and give me your question or topic. I'm ready.
Which topic will good? I have no idea, so I'm going to watch one video of TED Edu. After watching this, let's talk about this video. So let's finding something about in YouTube. The $1 trillion paradox. The sticker dilemma. That's bad wishes. It might be fun. Let's. Ah, it sounds fun. Let's talk about this. Okay, I finished to watch this video and I'm going to give you a link for this. So this is the link of video that I watched recently. I want to talk about this. I heard that in Korean, sports gambling named Sports is very serious problem, especially for teenager. I watched this video and this video is talk about sports gambling, and I'm very surprised that in overseas country sports gambling is also serious problem. And it is explained why gambling become very attractive and some people why addicted for this. It's very fun that it tried to explain this with two aspects. First, near missing, and second, dopamine. So this is very funny and we can talk about this. How do you think about this? If you like this topic too, then just summarize this video and let's talk about this. Give me Okay, you explained too many things, and I just want to converse with you with this topic. So, what you have to do is just summarizing the videos of this ring, and you don't have to find many information. So, I think you're just trying to give me information, so I'll give you an answer for this debate. How do you think about how do you think about sports gambling? Um, I heard many people uh, face can use this with their smartphone. It become more serious problem. So how do you think about this problem? Also, why you think this kind of gambling become more serious problem for teenager?
Got it. Let's keep it simple and just talk about the video and your question. Here's a short summary of the video you shared. Video summary. The video explains why sports gambling is addictive. It focuses on two main reasons. One, near misses. When people almost win, it feels exciting and makes them want to try again, even though they actually lost. Two, dopamine. Gambling releases dopamine, a chemical in our brain that makes us feel good. So people want to keep gambling to feel that pleasure again. Now, about your question, my opinion. Yes, I think sports gambling is a serious problem, especially because people can do it anytime on their smartphones. It's easy, fast, and feels like just a game, but it's not. Many people lose money without noticing how serious it is. For teenagers, it's even more dangerous because they are still learning to control their emotions and decisions. Gambling looks fun or cool in games or online ads. They don't fully understand the risks or addiction. What do you think? Do you think schools or parents should do something more to?
Okay, I want to I want to talk about more with you. However, I arrived at its limitation. I'm just use free planned model, and I can and therefore I have limitation to use um force model. So this might be the rest answer for this. I think gambling is very serious problem too. And I'm very surprised why sports gambling is more attractive than other. It's because near misses, sorry. So sports gambling can make various opportunity, and because of this, many people miss to catch their money be, very 아쉽게. So this is the one reasons why people can catch sports gambling too easily. It is very surprising to know about this, and also I can explain my feeling with this near misses. Sorry, when I playing game, I I failed to kill opposite very closely. I feel big big obsession, and it makes me feel more. It makes me feel want to play game more. So this might be one part of near misses, and this is very fun. Also, how dopamine can harm our is interesting too. In the past, dopamine is very strong chemical that help us to find and explore new things. However, this day we already know about many things, and there are um a lot of unspecific things. Therefore, we can easily catch with them because of dopamine, and also why we love to watch short video is uh can be explained with this dopamine too. So it is very fun that this kind of hormone have its pros and cons, and how it become harmful for us. In the past, this kind of dopamine is very strong chemicals to explore and find something new. However, it becoming toxic for us. That's very fun. And I want to know how can I control dopamine too. I don't want to watch short video, but it is very difficult to cut this. I think I have serious addiction of watching short video and smartphone. So this is very fun series, I think. Also, I'm going to answer to your opinion. You asked me that I think schools or parents should do something more to help teenagers avoid gambling. Yes, I think they totally have to do this. Students is more susceptible for dopamine and this kind of feelings. Also, students um easily can uh 접속하다 this kind of application for sports gambling. Therefore, I think more regulation is needed. So parents and schools can be help them to overcome this when they addictive to this kind of dopamine and gambling. They have difficulty to overcome this, especially teenager brain is more susceptible for this kind of 자극. So we need regulation for this. Okay, could you give me more brief answer than this? And this might be the rest converse for today. Conversation이라 해서.
Sure. You made great points about near misses and dopamine making gambling and short videos addictive. Teens are more vulnerable, so schools and parents should help with education and regulation. It's smart to be aware of these effects. If you want, I can help with tips to reduce short video addiction next time.
Okay, let's talk about them next time. Today, I just want to finish this practice, and it was very fun. So see you next time, and at that, we can talk about smartphone addiction and how can we reduce this. See you later.
Sounds great. I'm glad you had fun today. Looking forward to talking about smartphone addiction next time. Have a wonderful day and see you later.